Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhitch, presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. I'm the general manager, and Josh Prophet, our service director. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Okay, we're having an argument already starting off this morning. Daylight savings tomorrow. I say that's the last time the clock's moving. Anybody got any ideas? In the chat line, let's go by daylight savings. I love daylight. I like springing forward. I hate falling backward.
This way is the way to go.
That's for sure. I know. I'm pretty 99. It's staying. They're not moving the clocks no more.
Say it every year. Nope. Don't be one of those people.
Nope.
That
I'm not
spreads that word.
Nope. So, anyway, hey, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. Love to hear from you. And this is a only show I know you get paid to call in on. And the just call that number. It's the front desk here at the dealership. Tell me to get past in the podcast. And as always, we still haven't figured out that if it's still $130, Josh, or is it 110, 20, 30, 50, 60? I don't know, but it's over $100 at least.
It
we
is.
know it's more than 130 from that part for each and every caller that calls into the show. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll get some chat lines going, and we'll get some stuff happening. But as always, Josh, what's in that package for each and every caller?
Yeah, so we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll get yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. So,
all right, 316-462-3673. And anything coming in the comment lines about daylight savings. I say this is the last time the clocks get moved. They don't get moved in the fall. We're not going to fall back.
I mean, you can choose to not move your clocks if you want.
But might be a little trouble on that part.
I got in a car the other day, and it was an hour off. I don't know if it just happened right then and there, or if they'd been running that for 6 months. Yeah, or if they'd been running that for 6 months, or were in hopes that that daylight savings was going to be a little sooner, or what. But I think that'd be a little rough. It was
going to be, so just hit my phone. I'm excited for that because
that little extra bit of daylight at the end of the day just seems to make all the difference in the world for sure on what a guy can get done in the evening. So
exactly. So anyway, morning, Jeff, morning, Bill, and Jeremy. I got a front end growl in my Durango 2001 and can't figure it out. Well, Jeremy, we need a little more information of that. Let's call in the show, Jeremy, 316-462-3673. Get that great price package, and then we can call it, talk to you, to ask a few more questions when it's doing and what's happening there, so we can help you probably diagnose that Durango from that part. So a lot of things can go in my mind on what's going on with that Durango from that part too. So anyway, again, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the racing world, anything in new products, anything in the automobile world, doesn't matter. We'd love to hear from you. And again, daylight savings. Is the clock staying tomorrow morning at 2 a.m.? I think it's 2 a.m. when that switches, right?
Yep.
Does it? No, it's tonight at 2. Well, so yeah, basically tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 a.m. It's going to move forward an hour, and I'm going to say something, but I'm going to back off. Okay.
It's not staying.
I got to go. Okay, I got to tell you what I got to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So, in beside my bed, I have an alarm clock, but I don't use it anymore. It's my phone anymore. I just use this, what I use. And I've got a little stand my phone goes on there. And so that alarm clock's still there. Why? I don't know, but it's still there. But guess what time it says right now? Instead of saying 9:04, it says 10:04 right now. Mary asked me, are you ever going to switch that? And I said, what for?
Well, that, and it's right.
It's going to be right.
Yeah.
In a couple hours.
You're welcome, Mary. I fixed it.
Yeah, I get it. Morning, Tim. Who wants to go fast? Not me. I don't like to do that at all. You, Josh?
I think, everybody wants to go fast.
I don't know about everybody. But
yeah.
So anyway, daylight savings. Who's going to verify that this is it?
It's not happening. Yeah.
Jeff wants to know the best windshield wipers money can buy. Boy, howdy. I'm going to tell you the best windshield wipers to buy is change them every year.
Well, yeah, I was going to say a new set.
I mean, I haven't seen too many ads anymore of the, bragging about what.
I mean, there's all sorts of claims to fame out there. There's like rubber coated that's supposed to help with ice accumulation and Rain-X does like a streaking guarantee
Yeah.
from that side, and so it's there's all sorts of claims to fame out there on wiper blades, and man, you can spend uh, way different amounts on wiper blades for sure.
Stupid amount on wiper blades, that's for sure. Anyway, Tim Daniel likes our blue shirts, Josh. Instead of the black. Hey, yeah, everybody comment. How do you think the new screen up here? Gus, our IT guy, put us up on this, what do you call this thing again? Virtual screen?
Yeah, the virtual backboard.
Virtual backboard. So any comments on that too, whatever?
We could have been on a beach with a palm tree, but he chose this one. So
yeah, that'd be next thing I know, you probably come in when you take your shirt off and have some suntan oil or something.
Nope. Not happening.
Bosch, what's that? Bosch is what Jason Cox thinks is the best wiper blade. And everybody's probably got a good quality wiper blade, but I don't care what wiper blade it is or whatever. It's you got to replace them once a year, in my opinion, because you never know when you're going to need them, when you need them the most. But guess what? When you need them and you haven't changed them, it's no fun. So, Jeff Daniels.
Well, and then you go to a situation like, Thursday is kind of the first day we got a little bit of rain or something, but if we hadn't had moisture in quite a while, and so you turn them on and.
I got to switch gears here from some of his chat lines. I think we're going to have to start calling this father and son duo the comedy duo or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because now I'm getting it. My hair looks good. Not much up there.
Both of them.
Yeah. 3. There's 3, Josh. Warren Delbert. Anyway, we got a call coming in yet.
Yeah, we do. Let's we can go to the phones. Let's go to the phones and talk to Bill. Good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Morning, guys.
How are you, sir?
Guys. All right. Hey, got a question. 2017 Explorer. The right seat. You go to sit in it, and if you don't get the seatbelt fastened, the alarm, the warning's not going off. But the lights are all lighting up, but the airbags are active and everything.
But you do not get the seatbelt chime or warning on startup?
We're not getting a warning, yeah.
So there's actually a way to disable that warning. And if maybe somebody had disabled it at some point.
Can you legally tell everybody how to do that?
So it's actually in the owner's manual. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. It's printed in the owner's manual as to how to make that chime not go. And I don't know. Thinking back, I was trying to think from any other manufacturer. I don't know is that GM had that. Man, it's been so long
I don't
ago.
think GM
but
had it either.
It is an option on the Ford, and even still to this day, it's an option. There's not very many people that know. That's a way, but it's
turn that off.
So it's
so
it's off now would be my guess, and it needs to be turned back on.
Right.
But it's a matter of patting your head and rubbing your tummy the right amount of times and stuff like that. I don't know. Trying to remember the exact sequence, and it is different for different models and stuff like that. But that is something that we can certainly help you with. But it is a matter of key cycles and then plugging and unplugging the seat belt. A certain number of times within a certain amount of time on the ignition cycle. And like I said, it's different sequences for different things, but that is something that we can help you with and get that turned back on.
Good.
If the airbag is identifying and working properly, the other thing that could be the potential of what's wrong with it is there's a passenger occupancy sensor in there, and if that's not working, that chime wouldn't work either. But if that was the case, then we need to get that addressed and fixed because that airbag itself is not working either, and so that would definitely be a huge thing. You want to make sure that airbag's working and doing what it's supposed to, for sure.
This is the one we bought from you back in December, so I just noticed it the other day. So I think it's due for an oil change. So because that's something I can look at. We bring it out to Quick Lane or.
Yeah, Quick Lane can take a look at that real easy for you and stuff too. So just get an appointment made up, Bill, and let's get in there. But I still bet Josh is right. It's just probably been turned off from the previous owner is what I'll bet.
Okay, I was looking at the owner's manual the other day, and like Josh said, you gotta, hold your mouth right and everything, try to figure it out. So,
But, yep.
I didn't know if that was something that, I didn't know if it was something maybe we just need to check the sensor out or.
Yeah, we can get that right amount of sequences and stuff and get it up and going for you. So, all right.
Okay, all right.
Perfect.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Perfect. Thanks for the call. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we got another call coming up. I think it's Jeremy. We'll get him on the line for the noise in his Durango. I believe we're going to talk to him. Delbert loves the background. Anybody else? What do you think of the new background that old Gus put up there for us? And we can't wear black shirts anymore. That's the only problem with that, Josh.
Well,
just be our head bobbing around.
We'll get it. We'll get a different background too. I was looking at my closet this morning. Like, that's what I got. So, for sure. So, hey, let's go to the phones and talk to Jeremy. Jeremy, good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Pretty good.
Good.
I've got a 2001 Dodge Durango that has got a growl in the front end, and my left front tire is wearing on the inside.
Okay, so the growl, is it coming all the time as soon as you start moving, or has it got to get to a certain speed, or you got to turn, or?
No, when you just drive like 5-10 mile an hour, you can hear it growling.
Start growling. So I mean, it's a wheel bearing.
Does it progressively get worse as the faster you go?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one more thing to try too, and it's going to sound funny what I'm going to tell you to try here, but what we're going to do, I'm going to try to have you load and unload each one of the front, because the noise is coming from the front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have you do a little swerve action. Got to make sure you got an open road where nobody's around you or whatever, but just kind of do some S's in the road, so where you unload and load each one of those wheel bearings and see if that noise changes, and you'll be able to tell, like when you swerve it to the right, or turn your steering wheel to the right, it's going to load that other wheel bearing and see if that noise changes, so we can determine which side it's coming from. And then swerve it back to the left, and you'll be able to, as you turn left, you're going to load the right one, and so it'll take the weight off the left one, and you kind of see if it's doing any change, any noise there or whatever. But I'm leaning towards a wheel bearing.
Yeah. So wheel bearing. My other question was: is it 4-wheel drive?
Yes.
Yeah. If there was something,
that's the next thing. Have you tried putting in 4-wheel drive and see if it changes?
Yeah, it seems like it gets worse.
It's worse.
Yeah.
So it is coming in and out of 4-wheel drive. It's not stuck in 4-wheel drive, correct?
Yeah, it's coming in and out.
Okay.
4-wheel drive.
The other side of that is just doing see how much movement you can get out of those wheel bearings too. If you were to lift up the front end and rock the tires and see if there's any play in those wheel bearings at all. For calling into the show today, we'll throw a diagnostic onto your package, and we'll take a look at that thing at no charge to you and figure out exactly what's going on with that thing. But typically what we find is a wheel bearing, and typically the right side is always the one that tends to go out first, and that's just from as far as parking against a parking block or curbs or whatever. That right front is more susceptible to bumping things or hitting things, and it just puts undue stress on that wheel bearing. And so again, we'll throw a diagnostic onto your package, take a look at that thing at no charge to you, and figure out exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah, and I've also got a tick, and it's got a motor that I had. It's a brand new motor. It's probably got, I'm going to guess, maybe 8,000 miles on the new motor, but it's got a tick that started about a month ago. I cannot figure out where it's at.
Yeah. Is it at cold startup or all the time?
When it's cold out, you can hear it, and when it gets a little bit warmed up, it kind of somewhat gets a little softer, but not a whole lot softer.
Yeah. Yep. There's, definitely a lot of things that could be going on there. Lifters are a thing that would certainly do that. It would just be a matter of us being able to listen to that and identify it. The other thing that we see, in fact, we just run into this the other day on a used vehicle, is an exhaust manifold had a broken off exhaust bolt. And, you know, if you get a little bit of exhaust escaping from that thing, it'll develop a little bit of a tick, and then that manifold, when it warms up, it kind of seals up and goes away. So we can look at that tick as well and see what's going on there and give you some advice on a direction to head with it. So
I do have a check engine light. When I check it with the little bitty scanner, you know, you get O'Reilly's and that, it says evap something with exhaust. I put that new box on that's back underneath the vehicle, put that on there, and it went away for about a month, but now it's back on.
yeah. So you put the evap canister on it, and then, you know, in that evap system, there's a purge valve, all the hoses, the routing, the fuel tank is the other thing, the gas cap is another component, and that's where we'd really need to use a scanner instead of a code reader to be able to identify a little more in depth of exactly what's going on, what that code is, and then go through and follow a diagnostic trouble tree or chart, and be able to go through and step by step and just identify where that failure is coming from and what's causing it to come on. The thing about evap leaks, I think a lot of people don't realize, you know, every code has what they call a drive cycle on it. And so basically, in order for that code to replicate or to know whether it's fixed or not fixed, there's certain criteria that has to be met. And the evap system is one of the ones that, you know, there's a lot of codes where it's you know, start the engine up, and even just running would be considered a drive cycle, or you know, start it up and run it to a certain RPM or a certain speed. But on the evap side, there's a quite a lengthy list of certain parameters that vehicle has to make or meet before that code will even run, or to do a self check, and it includes, you know, things like engine temperature and fuel quality, or excuse me, fuel quantity. So your fuel has to be, you know, above a quarter of a tank, but then below 3/4 of a tank. And, you know, there's just a lot of different parameters that it has to meet in order for that code to run. And so in your case of you replace that component and it lasted a month, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was fixed when you put the component on. It just maybe means that it took that long to meet all the different parameters that vehicle needed to see in order for it to test out that system. And so, you know, that's a lot of the big difference between using a code reader and a code scanner to be able to identify those issues and get it fixed up, you know, the right way, for sure. So
Yeah, when I crawled underneath there, that canister did have a hole in it, so I knew I had to replace it. And I thought,
yeah,
I'm hoping that I just had to put the canister up there. And like I said, it was gone for a month, but I figured it would come back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Understand that completely. So, but we'll get that diagnostic added onto your package and take a look at that thing and figure out what's going on with it for you. Okay.
All righty.
Well, perfect. Hey, thanks for calling into the show today. Hey, is daylight savings over after this deal?
I for sure hope so.
Well, no.
So.
let me ask you this. How many times has that carrot been dangled in front of you?
Oh no, Josh, no.
I'm in my 50s, and I've heard that be changed. Oh, we're not changing it. Yes, we're changing it. No, I'm going to say over 30 years that I know of that it's been dangled.
Yeah. Yep. Just another year of dangling a carrot. So I don't know. I really do hope that they leave it alone for sure. And I hope they leave it this way and not the way that it's going. Yeah, for sure. So, well, very good. Well, thank you for the call today, and we'll get that diagnostic added onto your package. All right.
All righty. I appreciate it.
Have a good rest of your day.
Yep. You too.
Well, there you go. 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here with us. And we can talk about anything automotive. If you got something ailing your vehicle, that's we get into a lot of these calls and conversations. And I was visiting with a gentleman the other day that had an issue and with their vehicle over the phone. And I'm in my mind, I'm just running through all these scenarios of what's going on and what this could be and all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, like, you don't know until until you actually get to put your eyes on the vehicle and go through and diagnose exactly what's going on. In that particular situation, when they showed up, the direction that we were thinking was the issue. We were ended up being right, but man, to just tell somebody over the phone exactly what's going on, that's it's tough for sure, especially with all the subsystems and how these vehicles communicate and work together and stuff like that, for sure.
Yeah, and it's my opinion, the shade tree mechanic has went way gone to be able to do things and stuff like that. That part. I had a lady in my office here just yesterday, and she works for an organization here in town that helps get cars together for women that have had bad situations and stuff like that. And she was looking for some help from us and everything. And we started talking about how she goes and finds these cars to give these women that her husband diagnosed. But she went into this things how he can't fix things anymore like he used to be able to, and that kind of thing. And I get it. It's hard to diagnose these cars. It's hard to know what you're fixing, what you're doing, and all that kind of stuff where we are today.
Well, and I would even take that, one step further and say that, being in this industry, you meet a lot of people. And then we were just talking about this the other day at one of the meetings that we had. And, I still believe there's that belief out there from the consumers that the dealer's more expensive than an aftermarket or independent. And, what I would, I guess, say to that is, first of all, I've done studies, labor studies and things like that. And that is not the case at all. But then in addition to that is when you have a vehicle and somebody is taking more time or more guesses at trying to repair it than what needs to be, like, that's worth something. The length of time that it takes to fix that vehicle accurately, right, the first time, that means something for sure. And everybody knows somebody, right? Like, in this industry, like, I got a neighbor, or I got a buddy, or I got a whoever. And I the difference between, and no offense to anybody and what their, the desire to want to work on cars or know about cars, but to do it right, you're a professional, and if you're not, then you're just a guy in a backyard with a tool that, maybe could take a chance and fix something on accident here and there. But just like the guy with the evap system, and put a part on it, and the light went out for a month. Well, it could have been an issue and it could have taken care of it, but then also it could have been something completely different, and it just didn't even run that test.
We don't know that. It didn't sound like he went back and retested the code to see if it was. It could be something totally different.
Something completely different. And so my thought is that, okay, we put that part on it, and then we take another stab at it and put another part on it, and all the headache and hassle and time that it took to do that versus just get it fixed right the first time is what surprises me in some situations.
Yeah, I get it. Looks like Billy wants to get back on the old Talladega Nights quotes again. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. So Robert Kenny says he's not feeling well. Sorry, Robert, you don't feeling well today, buddy. Get well so you can get to your granddaughter's birthday from that part. But anyway, this little stuff running around. But anyway, lost my whole train of thought there, what I was going to bring up. Oh, I know what I was going to bring up. We talk about these diagnosing these cars and stuff like that. And we talk about quality of parts and everything else from that. Today, the way these cars have gotten complexed with so many different sensors and so many different pieces on them, it's hard to work on it yourself without the right proper tools and stuff too from that part. I remember back in the day when I worked for Don Davidson and Halstead at Halstead Auto Parts. And he helped me get started in the business and everything, learning the auto parts business. But Back then, the aftermarket had a good handle on them, better parts. For example, we used to replace shocks all the time. We used to replace belts all the time. We used to replace
starters, alternators. You know,
and the aftermarket did come up with some better parts than what the manufacturer had from that part. But now it's got so complex, and now the way the aftermarket parts can catch up, they've got to build a part that will fit on 5 different cars, 6 different cars, 3 different cars, whatever, to be able to mass produce that, to be able to be competitive with that situation. So today, the aftermarket world really isn't. Now, there's some great things out there, from suspension kits, that kind of things from that part, but the actually everyday maintenance things on these cars today, the manufacturer makes probably the best part from that part for quality, replaceability, usability. I mean, all that kind of stuff with all the electronics and everything else too, from that standpoint. So it's changed the whole world. And I read a story just the other day from NADA, and it's Josh, your theory of, the dealership's more expensive is changing, because NADA wrote a big article about it, how the consumers are realizing, hey, the dealership is a better place to go get a quality repair, to get a timely repair, get the right part and everything else, and get it properly diagnosed for a decent amount, a fair price.
Yeah.
And I think everybody really just wants their car fixed. Don't get gouged, don't get charged for things. And you remember, I still think that years ago, I remember watching, I was thinking 60 Minutes or whatever, and they showed the shop out there that was going out and basically squirting oil on struts and telling people they needed new struts.
That they needed new ones.
And, that kind of thing. I haven't heard anything like that lately. I think everybody's kind of caught on to those kind of pranks, or whatever you want to call it, from that standpoint. But that article just basically said that it's changed to it, because the consumer does believe the dealer is the better place to get their car serviced.
And my other side with that is, okay, where you go to have a more depth of knowledge. So a lot of different technicians, but then also a place that's very busy. We see more. Say you drive an F-150, that's the most common truck on the road. We see more F-150s in a day than any another repair shop would that many times over. But there are things like idiosyncrasies that happen with a vehicle that are just more common, and so these guys know where to look, because they've been through it. They've experienced it, and the depth of knowledge that we have back here is, it's unbelievable. The amount of years in industry and just different. We've got guys that are better at transmissions, and guys that are better at diesels, and stuff like that, and just the amount of training that they have back there is crazy.
All right, we got another caller in line. We'll get Jason patched through here real quick, see what's on Jason's mind today. Hey, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world, new products, anything in the racing world you want to talk about too. Or if I guess you're going to throw that dang Talladega Nights stuff back out there again. I still only watched it one time. I have yet to watch it again, Josh. So nice try. I know you don't believe me. That's okay. Anyway, it is what it is. I bet Tim's probably mad I don't have his jacket on again, but it's sitting right over there, Tim, behind me here a little bit. It is. It's really here. I haven't put the pants on yet either.
Today. Yeah, I hadn't put them on yet today.
Come on. Come on. Anyway, daylight savings. Did anybody prove that this is it? These clocks are going to move tonight at 2 o'clock, and it's going to stay there. Josh says no. I say yes. So who's going to prove us wrong? I want to know. Who is going to prove us wrong, or who's going to be right? How about that, Josh? Who is going to be right on the daylight savings time? Anybody got any knowledge, any trivia, not trivia, any information that can help us?
Insider information.
Yeah, insider information. 316-462-3673. Got Jason coming in yet? What's happening?
Yeah, I got him. We'll get him sent through here.
Bill says too. I hope so. It's exactly right. It's got to stay. Why do we need it anymore? I don't get it.
Yeah, it is one of those things. Hey, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Jason.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Perfect.
Good.
You?
So I'm in a dispute with my wife, and I'm hoping you guys can clear it up.
Phil, we'll let you answer this one. Yeah.
We fix cars, sir.
So she wants to know, do you go by oil life or mileage on oil changes? And I said, it's every 5,000 miles. She said, well, why don't you go by oil life? I said, that's not what you do. You drive the car 5,000 miles, or the vehicle, you need to get it changed every 5,000 miles.
Okay, I'm going to tell you that I understand exactly where you're going from. I hate the oil life monitors, hate them with a passion. I think they're
Okay.
not as accurate as they need to be or whatever. But if she wants to use that oil life monitor, then tell her to change it when it hits 50%, if that's what she'd like to do. Don't go more than 50% and change it, because I'm just telling you that's going to be pretty close to your mileage time and your time and everything else on that situation. But that's about how I feel those oil life monitors are. They're about half wrong on that situation, and here's why. Are the oils so much better? They still lubricate and do a good job and better than they've ever done? Yes, because of the better oils we have, and they're synthetics and multi-synthetics, all that kind of stuff. But what everybody's forgot about is the oil still has to get rid of deposits. It's still got to get lubricated. It's still going to have wear particles. The filters can't go this long, like they're saying, to go that long to keep your oil clean and everything. But the biggest part is that engine gets hot and that oil starts breaking down. It starts building up the sludge, and those passages we have in these engines today and the clearances we have in these engines today are so tight that you don't want those passages to get partially plugged. You don't want them to get partially worn where it can't get the oil where it needs to. But remember, your oil cools your engine more than your coolant cools your engine. So that's why you need to, that's my opinion. Tell her 5,000 miles or change it at 50%.
So what about on a new car? What would you guys recommend, 5,000 or 7,000?
5.
Yep, 5,000
Okay.
miles.
Because the owner's manual says 7, and I thought, I don't know if I trust that.
So there's a couple of different things in your owner's manual.
Right.
So there is the regular maintenance is 7,000 or 7,500, but then there's a severe maintenance or severe duty maintenance. And so severe, everybody thinks, well, severe duty maintenance, well, I drive my car normal or I drive my truck normal. I'm not hard on it, but it's not the way you drive it as much as it is the climate that the vehicle's in. So when you get extreme temperature changes, Kansas is we've got that box checked. For sure, dusty or dry conditions, or the opposite of that is, a lot of wet conditions, things like that. But it's the environment that the vehicle's operating on that makes it into an extreme condition, as well as, I mean, if you're using it for towing or or you are using severe duty for the vehicle as well, I mean, that would qualify as also. But yeah, definitely 5,000 miles. And here's my biggest thing with that is the manufacturer is the one that puts those maintenance intervals out there, and the reason that they're putting them out there is for cost of ownership, so people can compare one vehicle to the next. I don't know, you've been on the sales side of this for quite a while, and how many people have you seen that came in and cost of ownership was a box that they needed to check on when they purchased a vehicle?
Absolutely never have I ever had anybody ask me about cost of ownership when I'm selling them a car or anything whatsoever from that part. I just don't. Never have. I mean, that's not been anybody's concern or whatever, really, when they're buying a car. They're buying a car because they like the looks, they like the feel, like the options, they like the color, they like this different things with it's an image statement to me, what you buy and what you drive from that part, what a lot of people are looking for. But then ultimately, everybody else is looking for a payment. And I get that too. I get everybody's situation, why they're looking at different options, stuff like that. But I've never had anybody come in and say, I'm not buying that car because the cost of ownership's too high.
So the
manufacturer or whatever. I've never.
The manufacturer builds that maintenance around cost of ownership. Well, and then the second thought that they have to it is, okay, they're responsible for the vehicle to the warranty period.
That's
after you're done with the warranty period, they don't. I mean, what do they care if you have a broken transmission or a noise in the engine or something like that? Obviously they want to get it squared away. But if and then two, how long are people owning vehicles now? The length of time that they own ownership that they have versus years ago, with when a vehicle had 100,000 miles on it and it was it was done, it was over. But now these vehicles will go 200,000-300,000 miles and still be reliable, still be dependable, and the maintenance interval to get that vehicle to go there has got to be so much different. One of the other things I was going to talk about is I've seen in owner's manuals with other manufacturers and Ford as well, they say that it's a lifetime fluid. Well, my question to you is,
shoot them is what I'd like to do.
So my question to you is, what is the definition of lifetime?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This
You know, I
was
bought a
something-
new mower.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a new mower and it says never change oil. And I was like, this is wrong. I'm going to change it every season regardless.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'm gonna give you. It's gonna sound like a really crazy analogy, but oils have gotten better, right? So they last longer, they lubricate longer, everything else from that standpoint. But that's just a protection level to me. So the old industry come out and said, "Hey, we just come up with a new soap. Now you only got to take a shower once a week because this soap so much better cleans you better." It's not going to happen. Okay, that's the same difference with these oils.
No.
Your engine still develops all the contaminants and sludge and carbon and everything else like that. The oil's just lubricating better. It's not extending the life of the oil. And I'd like to argue with some of these full synthetic people out there that are talking about that. I won't list their names or whatever. How they can go 25,000 miles on an oil change. Filters can't last that long for one. Filters there's no filter designed to go that long from that standpoint. But there's no way. Can that oil, is it still lubricating to its job? Yeah, but it's so full of contaminants, so full of stuff and everything else, dirty, nasty. And I don't want that running through my engine. As expensive as these engines are today to maintain a simple oil change every 5,000 miles, the best insurance you can do for that motor and make it live as long as you possibly can. And I'll argue with any of them when they're ready to argue.
Yeah. And the
I
definition.
appreciate the information, guys.
Yeah. And the definition of lifetime is until it breaks and you got to replace it.
Yeah.
So
Right. All right.
for sure. Well, very
I
good.
appreciate the info. A lot of good information. I appreciate it.
Yep. You bet, buddy. Thanks for the call.
So, hey, hold on.
Yeah. Daylight savings. Is it staying or is it change it again in fall?
I hope it's staying. I'm tired of it.
But no, you got no evidence of that.
Ding, ding, ding. My side. Vote for me.
No.
Ding, ding, ding,
He
ding.
just said he wanted it to stay. He didn't say it was
I
staying.
want it to stay.
Yeah.
I think it's staying.
Yeah.
So that was one comment, and then the
Ding,
other
ding, ding, ding.
comment.
So far, everybody's voted on my side, Josh.
Yeah, and then the other thing is now you can go to your wife and tell her that you were right, but then tell her everything we told her, but you got to clean it up a little bit and somehow make it.
I'll send her your way. Okay?
No.
Remember, Jason, we fix cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
Hey guys, thanks. Have a good weekend. I appreciate it.
You too.
buddy.
Thanks.
Jeff comes up with a great idea. The way cars are expensive today, to push it to 7,500 miles or whatever, over save $100 a year. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. I disagree with this 7,500 and 10,000, and these oil companies that say you can go 20,000 miles on an oil change and stuff like that. It's nuts. It's crazy. I mean, I can still go back to what popped in my head today, Josh, was that Omar was back here a couple of weeks ago taking a diesel engine out of a truck, and he pulled the center intake off that thing, and I mean, it was sludged to no tomorrow. And we had just put that motor in 1 year ago. They never changed the oil in that truck in 1 year. And I don't remember how many hours.
Well, that's
it was
the
on
other
it.
side is
But
how many hours.
That diesel truck just sat there and idled, running and doing its PTO lifts and all that kind of stuff too. They never changed it. But it's on a truck like that that's running all day long. You can't go on miles. You got to go on the hours. And Ford has put those hour meters in there, so you know when to go change it.
Yep.
Jake's driving a diesel truck right now, and that's what he asked me. I think every 5,000 miles. I said Ford says every 200 hours, right? I said I'd be changing that truck every 100 hours. I wouldn't care what my miles were or whatever. 100 hours, boom, oil out, done, gone. I mean, what's a diesel motor going to cost today? 20 grand?
Oh yeah, you can get 20 grand wrapped up in one by the time you do
For
injectors, and
$100
fuel
oil change
system.
Yep. Yeah. Screw that. Change it. From that part. Same as a diesel fuel filter and fuel filters. I mean, we don't have them on a lot of cars anymore, but them diesel trucks need those fuel filters. That fuel's got to be super, super clean. And I'd be changing that every 100 hours too, just to keep my fuel filter clean and everything else from that part. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries? Want to discuss this daylight savings? We got to get an answer before it's over. I'm going to have to Google it here in a minute, Josh.
Well, I think much like anything else, I think you could find whatever you could find the answer that supports you, and I could find the answer that supports me. So,
okay, who can go out there and Google this or prove it? What's happening with daylight savings tomorrow? I know it's going to spring forward an hour, but what happens in fall? Does it stay at this, or are we moving the clocks, springing them back again in the fall? Who can Google that up? If anybody can Google that up quickly and prove it somehow, I don't know how you're going to prove it.
They're moving it. Yeah, you're moving the clock.
I don't think so, Josh. I think it's over. It's done. It's been voted on. Gavel's been hammered. Done.
So how about a Ranger, or a new body style Ranger? Where are we at on one of them?
What do you say? Don't get me started on these Rangers.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with these Rangers. They're building them. They're coming. I don't, it's just, I don't know what's happened there. Everybody's dying. I mean, I have a customer a day coming from a salesperson looking for the Ranger Raptor. And so far, we've got one sold order in the bank that I know bona fide we got coming. That's it. So that's another thing. I don't know what's happened to the Ranger. Other than I can figure out is that Ranger's built in the same plant as the Bronco, and the supply and demand of the Bronco. They building so many more Broncos and Rangers and stuff. But you know what? We had training on the 24 Ranger in October. Yeah, I got the plant got shut down, all that kind of stuff. But where they're at, why they're not here, I don't know. Great question. I wish I knew. Josh.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, 50,000 for a new motor to rebuild and change the tractor for 125 hours. Yeah, how about a tractor motor? How about that one?
That would be
talk about needing to change the oil. Okay, Ty says, let's go racing. When does the dirt work start? Well, if all of you, I guess we'll switch gears over in a minute. Let's go to Salt City Racing Facebook page. You want to go jump over there, like that page for us. So you can keep up to date on everything that's going on there. Yesterday, I was over there yesterday morning. We did a drone footage for the before we get started, and we posted that out there. The grader is sitting there. The front loader is sitting there, and a John Deere tractor with a box blade on the back sitting there. And then I got told yesterday the roller got delivered. I'm waiting on some pictures to come back because I didn't want to drive over to Hutch just to get those pictures. But Sunday night, Mike Van Grinderen will roll into town. He's the gentleman that maintained the dirt. He did not put the dirt on Bristol, but he maintained Bristol for NASCAR. So I think if NASCAR hired him to take care of the dirt, I think he's probably okay to take care of our dirt. Don't you think?
I would
but
check.
Mike has been all over the country doing different dirt tracks and stuff like that. And I will tell everybody, when you know what you need help with from that part, all I know about dirt is it's brown. Sometimes it's black. Up in Iowa, it's black. That's about all I know. So I went and hired the best of the business that I think I could hire to help us get this track set up. So he's coming Monday morning at 8 o'clock. The tractors and graders will fire off, and he's going to reshape the track to get it set and get us a base. And then he'll be back in April sometime to actually finish it up for race, to get it race ready and all that kind of stuff too. But he's going to spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday over there in Hutch moving dirt and getting things situated. And I think that rain that came through here on, I think it was Thursday night.
Yep, Thursday.
Beautiful timing
yesterday.
And everything to set things up to get us some moisture down in that track. And that's another thing. So I can't thank Mike enough for him. Next thing is Murphy Tractor and Equipment. Boy, those guys have really stepped up. Curtis and Dan, can't thank you enough for everything you've done to help keep this track alive over there in Hutchinson. And then John and Ross Richardson at Richardson Brothers Construction. That's their tractor and box blade they brought over. And those guys have done tremendous help to help us keep things moving and getting different sponsor stuff. Agri Center is going to supply us some side-by-sides. So thank you, Ryan, for that. And then we got Ryan from Construction Rentals going to get us some lights on the backside. So racers will have some. I told him I think we need 3 big light pods on that back straightaway to light it up good for you so you can see what's going on from that part. And then also Monday sometime, Mike from Ox Construction Materials, which is also Andale Concrete, are coming over to pour some walls sections for us. So can't thank Mike and those guys enough. And then Bill from Evans Construction is supplying some manpower to help Mike get those walls ready to go. The section panels put up, and right now it looks like we need 2 panels is all we need to put up to go race and go be safe. But Mike's going to pour us, I think, about 6 panels. So we got some spares ready to go as we need them throughout the year. So that's kind of the latest and update, Ty. Yes, let's go racing. I can't wait. It's going to be fun and exciting. And from that part, been touching the base with USAC. They are so pumped and excited to be here in the middle of July from that part. But April 26th can't come quick enough from that part. But we will post some more pictures throughout the week as to how that track is transforming and everything else from that part. But that's not as much as say, let's go racing, but let's get this track fixed up and let's have a great surface for everybody. And everybody, I just hope everybody comes and shows up and shows this fair board they voted the correct way to keep this racetrack and keep it moving and keep it going forward. It's going to take a lot of effort from all of us. I get it, but that's what we need to do to prove them that they voted 13-0 to go racing. So let's make sure we prove all of them that this is the right thing to go do. Let's go racing. And so find a couple friends and get in the stands. If you've got a race car or whatever, come do that. We've made some transition rules to help get as many racers as we possibly can. I can't get every possible racer in the country to come race these for all the different classes, everything we're going to do. I will tell you, we're going to start off a little bit smaller than we thought we were going to so we can get through the races. And as we see fit, that we can put another class into the group that we can get it done in a timely fashion, we will. So you compacts that we kind of took you off the schedule. We just thought that little motor screaming around a half-mile track was probably the one to take away first to see how that will do. But if we can put another class in, we will. You super stocks. I know you guys want to come race, and I want you to come race there. We'll probably put, if we can see we can put another class in there, we're going to. We'll put you in, so hopefully you guys can get there and race 2, maybe 3 times this year instead of just once a year at the big track, at the half-mile track. So let's get out there. Let's prove the fair board they made the right decision. Let's do this so that way then in October I can go back to the board and we can get a 3-year plan together so that we can start doing a lot of exciting stuff. I've spent more time on the phone with Mike on the dirt talking about what we need to do this year, but also what we can do in the future and what we need to do to that track to get it to be a fantastic racing surface and stuff. And he's very confident that he will have us a great racing surface coming out, ready to go coming out of the gate. So can't wait for that too. So Ty, I hope that answered your question. Jump over on Salt City Racing page, get that like so you can stay up on all the updates and everything they're going to do. Every Wednesday night at 6:00 we'll go live and try to keep things updated from that part. So any other questions on that, throw them in the chat line. I'll answer them up for you. Or let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. What else, Josh? You got anything you to put up on the screen?
Yes,
new tech or anything?
Still hadn't got anything about daylight savings. You know why? Because I can't find anything, because it's not happening.
That's it.
It's just not going to happen.
I'm going to Google it. So I can't get anybody to Google it for me. We're just going to have to go Google it up. But I'm pretty sure, because the reason I think I'm about 99% sure, right, me and Michelle were Googling that the other day. Daylight.
It's just not there.
Savings.
I'm telling you, it's not there.
Daylight savings. Sunday, March 10th.
It even gives you the date of when it's going to go back the other way, doesn't it?
Nope. No.
I'm pretty sure it's on there. So this week we went down to BG Products.
I missed that because I was at the Crime Commission.
Yeah, you
banquet.
Did the Crime Commission deal, and it's ironic, but we were talking about some of the same things that we were talking about today on the show, just in regards to maintenance and the expense of a new vehicle, and they had a side-by-side comparison of like back in 1990, what a vehicle cost then, and length of ownership a consumer would have it for, and it was 2.9 years was the average length of ownership versus today in 2024. The cost of the vehicle and expense of the vehicle, and some of the comments were made that just from the lending side on a vehicle, that consumers will have and own a vehicle that they're still making payments on it that's out of any type of warranty, versus years ago, a lot of times the vehicle was completely paid off before it ever even went out of ownership. The warranty part of it ever went out of ownership. But then again, just talking about the average mileage that's driven, and how many more miles that they're seeing on used vehicles now versus years ago, and that means maintenance. And one of the topics of discussion was definitely the lifetime fluids and what that lifetime really meant. But again, it's until it breaks, and that's something that simple maintenance. And we go back here and walk through the shop on a daily basis and can see several different repairs that are having to be completed just from lack of maintenance. And to be able to convey that to the consumers, that's where it's these advisors' responsibility to go through and educate customers on what they need. And what those services look like, and also the importance of it. And my biggest thing with maintenance, and BG really aligns with this, is that you're preventing larger repairs. On a maintenance side of things, you pick the time and when you can do it and when it's budget friendly. But on a repair, from lack of maintenance, the car's going to break. It's going to leave you stranded somewhere. It's not going to be the most opportune time. You may not even be in the budget to get it repaired. And there's just it's hard to convey that to a consumer when they need a large repair that could have been avoided from better maintenance for sure. So, what are you finding over there?
Nothing.
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 Huh? Yeah.
No, nothing at all. What's Jeremy say? Jeremy have to get the state legislation to press a bill to get it to stay one time only. I don't know. I don't know. I can't find anything one way or the other that proves anything.
So
that's why everybody can't put nothing up on the screens. We can't figure it out.
So you're thinking I'm right, is what you're
No,
thinking.
I'm not giving up because I tell you, no.
You know what? Time will tell.
Hey, just got a good question on here too. How about this one? When is Josh's kids going to start racing? I got my kid knee deep in. I shouldn't say knee.
Well, I was going to say
you're. So let's see.
You're underwater for sure, man. They everything's
how old again?
14.
Huh.
Everything is.
Jake was RC racing like a mother at 14.
Yeah.
He was in a go-kart at 14.
Everything is a competition. Everything is a competition.
I can't wait. I got one son. He's got two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not answering the question. Kind of like the daylight savings thing. We're not going to answer.
There's everything's a race. It doesn't matter what it is.
I think there's a couple two-wheel things running around.
There are. Yeah, they got a couple dirt bikes, and that's a race. And yeah, it's so.
Cole's kind of getting short talks, little visits going on here.
Cole's faster, but Connor can jump his further. So
are we competing yet? Or
oh, not at against each other. Yeah.
Well, that's not as much fun. Come on, Josh. My goodness, here. What else can we do here? We got to get them. I think we need. I don't know. They just want to ride motocross. You think they need to get on the dirt? There's asphalt or get on the drag strip.
They need to be focused on one hobby, and then maybe we'll go full bore on it or something.
Let me ask you this question, Josh. Yeah. When you were down there, were you focused on one hobby?
No, not at all.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
not at all.
I was kind of thinking. That's what I was kind of thinking, but I'm ready for some race. I'm ready to, me and Jake been at this hard at it, and you get to laughing at us back or arguing with each other because we do that quite a bit.
It's again, let's go back to it's not arguing; it's a spirited debate.
Sometimes,
but, that's the whole father-son deal for sure.
Well, I
and
go
just
back.
being that much closer
when
together.
I flip it around. And I'm going to tell you, I was just like that to my dad. We'd argue about different stuff, but he's always kind of funny. After the long-term situation, he was right more than I was.
At the time, what'd you think, though? Yeah.
Hand up, no more.
Yep. I seen the same thing with my dad and grandfather worked together in construction for many years, and man, I can tell you. Well, I don't know how many times he got fired, but by dinner, Grandma got a hold of that deal, and he was rehired and ready to go the next day for sure. So, yeah.
Okay, Tim Daniels got a good idea, but this is again, it's back to the fake thing here again, not real. I think Ricky and Cal need a little head-to-head kickoff at Salt City. Pick the ride of your choice.
Huh. You get a Power Wheels. How about you pick mine and I pick yours? How about that? But you got to go first, so I can.
Well, I think we've got to make some ground rules about that first.
Do we?
Yeah. Qualifications.
Oh, gotcha.
It's got to be so much this, so much that, or whatever. If I'm going to show up and you're going to hand me a little RC car or something.
You get to run around the track.
Like I'm on fire.
In a track suit. Oh, good God.
I'm on fire.
If you think I'm running a mile.
Yeah.
Or half mile. Yeah, that ain't happening.
I'll walk it, but I ain't running a damn thing. That's for damn sure. So anyway, everybody, hey, we're running out of time. I didn't know what time it was there all of a sudden, so we're having a lot of fun, everything else too. So, hey, stay tuned. Get over to Salt City Racing. Like that page. Get ready to go for all the updates. Please come watch those races. Please come tell this fair board they made the right call to keep that racetrack running and stuff too. And let's have a lot of fun. Let's see how that track transforms this week. Going to be exciting for that too. So I'll be over there about every day watching it go and seeing what Mike needs and all that kind of stuff too. So really appreciate everybody watching. Let's go back. BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Hambelton Ford. Me and Sean have been trying to get together. They're going to be over, and they're going to be a nice sponsor for us over at the Salt City Racing 2. We'll get them dialed in here pretty close, what they're wanting to do to help us. But the partnership we have with those guys is phenomenal. But the biggest thing is their products they have are second to none from that part. Big Corner Creative, of course. Big Corner Creative is a big portion of all that, the drone footage and stuff over on the page. They're a great marketing company out there. They were made just for us at Hambelton Ford, but Jesse's done a great job, and now he's out there taking care of all kinds of companies for all their advertising needs, from web page design, direct mail, digital marketing, traditional marketing, whatever it might be to advertise your company, vehicle wraps, window tint, whatever it is to help you advertise your business. As Jesse and those guys say, just Google us. And of course, spring break's right around the corner, isn't it, Josh?
It is. Yep.
And we just got some new vans over there for Stan in the go to rent. Finally getting some vans out of production that we've been waiting on for 3 years to get passenger vans built for his department. So I got some new vans over and stuff. So if you're needing something for the spring break time, let Stan know right inside here at Hambelton Ford. So we can get your needs taken care of from that part. Just brought about 20 new cars this week. Bought a bunch of Explorers and a bunch of Expeditions.
Very good. Yeah.
To put in his fleet. So if you need something bigger to get on vacation or whatever it might be, give Stan a call right inside here at Go To Rent. Everybody, have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And
don't forget to set your clocks back.
Set your clock
or forward.
Just leave them there forever.
Forward. No, forward.
Spring forward. Leave them there forever. I think that's what it is.
Mary, I fixed my alarm clock.
That's
I finally got it.
At 2:00 this morning.
Till fall.
Till fall. No, staying. All right, everybody. Have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you next Saturday at 9:00 and Wednesday at 6:00 for any updates on Salt City Racing. Talk to you soon.